Hey folks, welcome to Niche Learns to Code. Today I'll be talking about my GitHub profile. I know that as a software developer, we all maintain a GitHub profile. We all are trying our best to keep it active, keep it up to date. So in this video, I'll just discuss like my tips and tricks. How do I maintain my GitHub profile? And what I could learn from you as a community, please leave it down in the comment section below. Let's get started. So yes, as you can see, this is my GitHub profile. And so this is a very special section in GitHub where we can have a repository with the name of our profile. So the name of my profile is Anish Learns to Code. Yes, if you have figured it out, it's the exact same as my YouTube page. My YouTube page actually came in much after my GitHub. I started my GitHub back in 2018. I created my YouTube channel in 2021 July. So yes, and the icon that you see here is exactly the same icon that I'm currently using for my GitHub as well. So this repository that you see over here, this section, comes from a special repository in GitHub. If you create a repository in GitHub with the exact same name as your personal profile. So for example, if the name of my profile is Anish Learns to Code, and if I create a new repository with this name, Anish Learns to Code, the README section of that repository will appear as my will appear in my home section. So this section thing that you see over here, which is kind of like an introduction, is the README from this repository Anish Learns to Code. And this repository can serve as maybe very simply, it can just serve to provide the README to my homepage, or it can even serve to provide like a website. Many people have their own personal websites. Another thing that I do maintain is I maintain repositories which are actually like dictionaries to other repositories. So for example, I have this repository over here called competitive programming. Inside this repository, I simply have links to other things. For example, I have linked to three things over here. One is my HackerRank profile, one is my LeetCode profile, and the third one is my YouTube channel where I'm currently updating LeetCode questions. Then I have two sections over here, HackerRank and LeetCode. The HackerRank section, as you can see, is very populated because I started HackerRank back in 2018, even before 2018 actually, 2017. So I've been doing HackerRank from a very early age, and I very recently ventured out into LeetCode. So this is just starting, this is building out. So what I do is, there are many repositories for HackerRank solutions and HackerRank questions out there on LeetCode. I'm so sorry, out there on GitHub. I'm saying these, I'm mixing up all these words. So what I've observed in those sections for those repositories out there on GitHub are that they don't divide there, they don't structure the repositories very well. For example, HackerRank intrinsically is structured very well. It has separate domains. It has a domain for Java, for Python, algorithms, data structures, C++, mathematics, and even more. It has domains for artificial intelligence, statistics, etc. It even has some tutorials. So for example, there's a 30 days of code tutorial, and there's a 10 days of statistics tutorial. And it even provides certifications. For example, there's a Java certification that you can get, Python certification, or a problem solving certification. So I've created separate repositories for all these different sections so that people can easily see what they're trying to access. For example, if you open this Java section, there is clearly mentioned over here all different questions. For example, the Java section in HackerRank is divided into several subdomains. We have Java introduction, we have Java strings, Java object-oriented programming. So every section I have divided with its own questions. This is a link to the question. Along with the link to the question, I provided a link to the solution, and along with that, a difficulty, just like extra information. So let me show you something more. So what I'm maintaining currently these days is the algorithm section on LeetCode. So if I open this up, we can clearly see how many questions are there. There are 1,571 questions, and how many questions I've solved. So I've currently solved 112 questions. This actually is a little out of date. I have solved like more than 120, 130 questions approximately. But yeah, can't really brag, so it's not a very big difference. Now, this is, I would say, a little cleaner than the HackerRank section. We can clearly see the question number, the name of the question, and this is a link to the actual question on LeetCode, the difficulty, and the solution in multiple languages. So currently I'm supporting 2 languages, Python or Java, but this project is open to contribution. So you can fork this repository and you can contribute to it. You can create pull requests. So for example, if you have a solution maybe in C# or JavaScript or some other language, or maybe you have a solution for a question that I have not yet solved, or maybe you have a solution for a question that I have solved, but maybe your method is better than mine, and you would like to propose some changes, you can create a pull request. I'm extremely active on GitHub. People have even talked to me on GitHub. It's like people even use it as a chatting platform with me, and I do reply very proactively. You can easily do that, and I will, whatever pull request you create, I will merge that. So that I will complete that. I will take that to fruition. So if you ever want to participate for Google Summer of Code or any other programs that require an active GitHub profile or an active contribution profile, that you have contributed to some projects, my projects would be an excellent place to start, because I am always looking for contributions and I accept 100% of them. I never reject any contribution. Like even if there's something that needs to be fixed or updated, I simply create a new, I create some suggestions or I add a new commit to update them or a little bit. But I do accept all pull requests that I receive. Alright, so here we can see that we have questions along with the difficulty level and with the solution links. And I'm now starting to add YouTube solution links as well, so that you can clearly see explanations if you don't understand the code directly. So this is something that I'm just working on. Let's go back to the main section. So I explore GitHub a lot, and I do have a look at what other people are doing. So something that I notice always is that this introduction section that people have, it's really large, and they just use that as to add stickers to the profile. So people have stickers for like 20 different programming languages. They have a sticker for JavaScript, C#, Perl, Ruby, Java, Python, basically every single programming language that you can name or think of, they have a sticker for that. I would highly recommend that you do not do that. Don't use this section to just add stickers to all technologies and all technology stacks and to all programming languages. That does not serve any purpose. No single person can be an expert in 20 programming languages and 10 different technology stacks. You cannot be an expert in Docker and Kubernetes and AWS and Azure and SQL and Java and Python at the same time. People have been out there programming for 20 years and they have not accomplished that. So just by adding stickers to your front page will not be an excellent option. Don't do that. So what is something that we should do to highlight our GitHub and to make our GitHub look good? One thing that you should do is for every repository that you create. So for every repository, I mean every project. For every project that you create, it should contain a license, it should contain a README file, and it should contain a git ignore file. And the README file that you have should be very clear and concise. It should clearly state that what is this project about, what are you trying to accomplish with this project, and how to run this project locally on your machine. So you made this project. Obviously, this project runs on your machine, on your laptop, your computer, whatever. But you don't want this project just to run on your computer. This project should also run on other people's computers. For example, if I'm looking at your code, I'm like, this looks like a very interesting project. I would also like to use it. I should not scratch my head or think, how should I use this project? You should have clear-cut, concise instructions on your page on exactly how should I get the project on my computer, get it up and running. So I should not have to think. There should be simple copy-paste commands on your GitHub profile. I simply copy them, paste them on my terminal, and voila, it just works. So you should make things stupid simple for the people who are having a look at your profile. So let me show an example for this. I do have projects. So I have this alien invasion project. Alien invasion. Okay, I have many repositories. I'll just search within my repositories. Alien. Here we go. Alien invasion. So this is a project, and as you can clearly see, my projects have also garnered stars. They have garnered folks, and these are projects that I'm not even advertising. Like I've never put them on LinkedIn. I've never put them anywhere. These projects are not even on my home screen, but people still find them. So if you make a project with clear instructions, I think that is always something that people prefer. And this is something that even my interviewer, when I was giving an interview for Zomato, even that guy really liked. He saw that every single repository, every single project on my GitHub had a README file, and for every project I had instructions on running the project locally. So this is something that he was very much impressed by. So this is something that I would highly recommend all of you to do. No matter what project you have on GitHub, there should be instructions on cloning the project locally and then starting the application. It's a Node application, Angular application, what have you. So this is a super simple project. First thing we need to do is simply clone the repository on our machine. Then we need to install this package, which is required for running this project. Then we simply enter this project. So this cd alien invasion is a very stupid simple command. Anybody who's learning programming does know that cd just changes the directory and we are entering a folder. So by saying this, I'm not saying that people reading this are stupid. That's not what I'm claiming. But by writing this, it's just so stupid simple that people can simply copy paste this in the terminal and it will just run. So if I would have not written this and just written it in English, enter the folder through the terminal, people would have understand. But still, why leave room for anything? When you're writing this down, make all documentation stupid simple. Then we need to simply run Python we need to simply run the driver.py file, and that will start the game. So this was a very small tour of my GitHub. I would highly recommend that you go through this. And I also have this diff over here which serves no purpose. So I know that we are only allowed 6 pins, 6 repositories, 6 projects that we can show off. But I think even with 5 pins, I am showing off the things that I want to. Maybe if in the future I have so many projects that I will have to remove this guitar, but I don't think I'm ever going to remove this because I really like this. All right. And another thing that I would like to say is do make repositories which are like index repositories, which have links to other projects that you have done. For example, you've done many projects for computer vision. So you can have project number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 different projects on GitHub. So you can have this one repository with links to all different projects. And along with that links, maybe you can have small introductions. That this is a project that identifies emotion. This is a project that identifies the age of a person. This is the project that identifies gender of a person. Like whatever different projects you have made. So when people have to look at your profile, they want to look at, okay, what all work has this person done in the field of computer vision? They can just have a look at one repository and then see all the projects in computer vision that you have done. So this is another repository that I have, which is actually like an index repository. So all the links that you see here are links to other repositories, other courses on Coursera. For example, there's this deep learning specialization, which consists of 5 courses on Coursera. I have completed all these 5 courses, and for each of the 5 courses, I have solution repositories so that people can refer to my solutions if they face any problems. So for every course on Coursera that I have done, I've created these solution repositories so that people can easily refer to the solution. The link over here is basically the course on Coursera. This this icon that you see here of the octopus, of the Git octopus, is a link of the repository, and this university certificate hat that you see is a link for the certificate. So I even have a little key over here that links to solution repositories are marked with this Git symbol, and certificate links are marked with this hat. And a side note, if you want to make the symbol on GitHub, then the way you make the symbol is :octocat:. So I'll just show you how exactly do you make the symbol. So yeah, if you write this in GitHub on any readme file, :octocat:, then that will make the octocat GitHub symbol. So here's a small nitbit for you to learn in today's video. So this has been a not so short introduction to overview of my GitHub profile. Thank you very much for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.